All right. All good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on out. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Dennis Caldwell Jr. I graduated from Liberty High School in 2017. I did track all 4 years. Did other sports as well, but track was my strength. I did a little bit of basketball, and that didn't really pan out. But I love to run, and I didn't think I would be doing any of this right now. This all started by just looking up YouTube videos about painting and drawing. I wanted some sort of hobby, and it slowly turned into a huge passion of mine. And I first began with celebrities and favorite movies that I like Home Alone and yeah, Home Alone's a really good movie. I could do probably like 10 paintings off that movie alone. And a lot of these drawings and paintings I did while listening to music, while listening to movies. And I get inspiration from other artists. Once I started seeing other artwork on Instagram, I wanted to do something similar to it. And usually, however I'm feeling in the moment, that's what happens when I'm doing drawings and paintings. And I just listen to the heart, listen to the soul, any reflexes that I have to change something. That's what will happen. But I like putting motion in my drawings and paintings. It adds flavor to it, and also a little bit of abstract, because my goal is not to copy every photo out there. I want to have emotion in it, and I want to have some energy into it. And it's like that ambulance back there. They're running a patient to the hospital, and I wanted to convey that with motion, but also put some colors in there as well. But charcoal drawings is where I started, and then I slowly got into other stuff like watercolor and a little bit of acrylic paint. And then when I got into oil paint, I discovered that was a lot easier to work with than watercolor. For one, it didn't dry in like 10 seconds. And acrylics, man, they'll dry in like 2 to 3 minutes. Oils, if you get a certain ingredient in it, the oil paint that I use, every tube of paint from the tube to the canvas, it'll take about 7 to 10 days to dry. And you can either add something to it to make it longer, or you can add something to it to speed up the drying time. But I have thoroughly enjoyed my time in the studio. I've left at 3 a.m. in the morning. I've gotten here at 5 in the morning to do some painting. Usually it's leaving at 3 or 4, because I really wasn't a morning person. I like the idea of painting and drawing at night, because drawing and painting is really taxing on the brain. I don't want to have to do anything else but go home and go to bed. Maybe I might go for a run. It's a luxury to be able to run in town. It's really peaceful. Whenever I need some motivation, if I'm not feeling really motivated, I'll go out and go for a little run, listen to some music, or maybe run without the music, because it's two totally different experiences. But the way my art looks is just it just depends on whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But I'd say my favorite oil painting is that black and white car. Specifically, that car is going through the center of town, right across from the clock. I took that photo with my iPhone. I didn't have an actual camera at the time, but to be able to do something like that, I didn't think I'd ever get to that level, but here I am. And if you saw what my work looked like 6 or 7 years ago, when I wasn't even thinking about it, it was totally different, and it slowly evolved. And this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of my art career, and I'm really excited to see what happens. But my favorite subject to paint or draw is people, because there's just a certain level of uniqueness, certain level of of uniqueness to them that you can't find in a car or a tree or a landscape. Everyone's got something about them that can be copied or replicated, and that's why I enjoy it. And if you're painting and you've got the nose off just by a little bit, it's going to look like a totally different person. Sometimes that's a good thing, maybe you want to make some edits. And maybe you're the person who commissioned you. They might tell you, "Hey, don't put that in there. Make me younger. Make me look younger. Make me look this way." So I haven't got too many commissions, but I have done a few commissions, and I plan on doing that, and also sharing as much as I can. But also getting out there and plein air painting is probably one of the best experiences you can have, whether it's painting on the street like I did back in the summer. I did a painting of the Bauer Center, which is hanging up in my studio upstairs. That was a very thrilling experience. 5 minutes into it, people were honking the horn. I didn't even start. They were slowing down. I really hope it wouldn't cause an accident or anything like that. But carrying my French easel out there and stuff like that. But painting and drawing it helps me. It helps me express whatever it is on my mind. And sometimes there's just really no reason as to why I did a certain stroke or a certain technique that I put into the drawing. It's just, it's like artist instinct. Artists who have been doing art for a while, they'll tell you that something just doesn't feel right. And when you listen to that, you change it, and you feel better that you did change it. I'd say the hardest thing about being an artist is liking your own stuff. It's enjoying what you're doing, and once you get over that hump, things are a lot better, and I finally enjoy my own stuff. I finally enjoy my own work. That was a very difficult thing to get over, and being able to receive constructive criticism, that was a huge obstacle in the beginning. They're not. They don't like you. They want to make you better, and that was the greatest thing that's happened to me is just taking that criticism and running with it. It's not that they're hating on your stuff. They want to make you better, and I took criticism online. Some people were a little bit more meaner than others. Some people would tell you flat out how they felt, and post on some forums. These people have experience and I didn't. So, but to be here is such a blessing, and I really enjoy the studio that I have 24/7 access to. I'm working on a massive canvas right now. It's a painting of a girl, and I'll find just people to paint, and I'll try to portray whatever I'm feeling at the moment, and just do the best I can, because painting is hard enough as it is. It's really messy, and charcoal is messy too. But I find that those two mediums are the mediums that you can really, really put something into it, breathe some life into the reference image. So I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for all coming out. Yeah.
So a lot of your stuff is obviously like the personality of the person you're painting. There's also this moment in motion. What is it that causes you to select that moment?
It just stands out to me. It's like you're looking on Google Images and you're just scrolling through. If anything catches my mind, I don't try to look at each individual one like really close up and then go to the next photo. I'll look at something far away, and if the composition's good, I'll take a closer look into it. And maybe it has motion in it, maybe it doesn't. I like adding to it. I like doing the softer edges, because that's where you can really make things realistic. But yeah, I'll add to it or take away but I like motion. It's such a fun thing to portray, you know. But yeah, hope that answers your question. Veronica.
So you talked about your evolution as an artist, and do we see that evolution in this room? Like, is there something that's from a long time ago and then something that's current?
Yeah.
And then I have to say, I love the Utz bag.
The Utz bag, yeah. One of my favorite chips, you know. These two were painted plein air, just right in front of me. The canned tomatoes were painted. It was like 90-degree weather outside, sun shining. You'll want to have a hat or some sort of umbrella because I don't realize it. You know, painting is hard enough as it is. That sun will drain you. It'll drain the life out of you. You got to make sure you're hydrated. But yeah.
What was an early piece that's in here?
Earlier piece, Joe Pesci, right above Ice Cube. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the earliest pieces. And trying to just know that you can't be the best you can overnight. It took some time to learn that. You know, it's going to take some time. So painting that was still fun, though. You know, I'd listen to the movie that I was painting. You know, if I did a painting of Joe Pesci, I was watching Home Alone in the background. You know, the first and the second one. But yeah. Any other questions? Susan?
Did you start out with any classes when you were in high school?
Art 1 and Art 2. I had Miss Friedewald and I had Miss Boyer. That was fun to just have something. It was one of the better options, you know, from the electives. But I didn't think I would pursue it more. You know, I got a little bit of a grasp of the values and doing value and contrast and, you know, all the foundations of art. But, you know, that's where I really actually began putting it into a sketchbook. And specifically that drawing of the guy dancing, that came out of the sketchbook that I used for that class. And I thought it was 9 by 12, but it's like 8 by 11, 8.5 by 11, and I didn't discover that until I was doing the mats. I had to put something behind it to fill in that little tiny gap, or else the drawing wouldn't have fit the whole way. So I placed something behind it to make sure that it would fit. But yeah, that came out of the same sketchbook from that class. And the other day, Miss Friedewald brought her advanced art students here to take a tour, and I got to share with them about my exhibit and stuff, and that was really fun. But yeah, any other questions? Katie?
How was that for you you're no longer the student, but now here you have your own solo exhibit, and your former art teacher is here with students. What was that like for you?
It really hasn't settled in yet. Yeah, this really hasn't really settled in yet either. This is technically my second exhibition. The first one I had was at Riverview's Art Space, and that's right across from Amazement Square in downtown Lynchburg, and that was amazing to have people walk down the hallway and I get to talk to them. And people who were from New York City or who visited New York City, I personally have not gotten the chance to, but they'll tell me that, you know, the Brooklyn Bridge drawing, they said that whenever I think of Brooklyn or New York City, that they told me that the drawing just perfectly reminds them of the atmosphere that's over there. But yeah. Any other questions?
You've done a wonderful job. You represented the Bauer Center for the Arts and our Emerging Artist program wonderfully, and we are very thankful for your time and the energy that you put in, but we hope that this is just another launching pad for you, and it looks as though you're well on your way to a successful career.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm grateful to be here.